Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Instant Reaction Kane's Insight podcast. And as you can tell by my voice, you can hear it in my energy. Turn off the lights. The party's over. They fooled us again. I'm already seeing comments, and I agree 100%. We don't learn. We as fans, I don't learn. I'm the biggest clown of them all. Put the red nose on me. Put the clown makeup on me. Put it on me. You guys have seen me and heard me for years, and I'm a very real person. I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank it heavily. Obviously, by the way this team came out tonight, they drank it. They played like it tonight. There was no urgency from this team tonight. Came out flat. Obviously, the defense, they rebounded somewhat, but you go down 14-0 there. You have the penalties continue to be what they are. We did it again. We did it as fans again. We bought it. We bought it. And you know what? I'm one of the people to blame. I'm one of the people who comes on here and looks like a clown in these post-game shows. I'm a clown. I might as well do the show like this the rest of the darn show, man. I'm a clown, and we're all clowns for believing the same thing. Turn off the lights. Why is the light on? Turn off the lights. The party's over. The party's over. When I say the party, we got to get off our high horse. I got to stop it. D-Money, listen to me, D-Money. You got to stop it too. We all got to stop it. No more Bain for Heisman. No more Beck. Let's stop it, D. Let's stop it. D, you and I'm talking to you right now, and I need you to listen to me. We got to get off our high horse. The party's over. The season, I'm not saying the season's over. It's not over, but the party's over. The energy's gone. You guys think that when I get on here sometimes that I'm like, just extra doing crazy stuff on the, on the outside because of how I come on here all excited. I've been legitimately excited about how this team has started the season. I've been legitimately excited about, and it's been a different start to the year. I personally think the way you've beaten some of these teams. But what we saw tonight was the same darn garbage that we've seen. And you know what? This isn't me turning on the situation. I'm a believer in this staff. I'm a believer in where this program is headed ultimately. But they did it again to us as fans. And again, I'm to blame. D is to blame. We as fans, we believed it. I said, there's no way they're going to have another Virginia Tech Friday night. There's no way that, they're going to trip up coming off a bye here. You get an extra week of preparation, extra week of rest here. There's no way that Braum is going to scheme us up again. There's no way Braum's going to do it again, right? They have a terrible offensive line. That's all we said all week. That's all we said all week, right? The offensive line for Louisville. And again, I came on here looking like a clown talking about a whirling dervish. I felt like a whirling dervish tonight spinning. That's what I felt like tonight. I felt like a clown-ass whirling dervish tonight. So I apologize, everybody. I really do. And this is it's just frustrating. We can get into the X's and O's. We can get into what happened tonight. But I came on here and said that this is one of the worst offensive lines I've seen. Miami's defensive line was nowhere to be found tonight. So, yes, Braum and them schemed up. Get the ball out quick game. Boom. Out to the left, out to the right. But let me tell you something. Louisville was running the ball pretty much at will tonight. Isaac Brown, other than the fumble tonight, did what he wanted against the Miami Hurricanes. And by the way, was running untouched to the second level, right? So to me, we're all going to point. Carson Beck, not a good performance whatsoever. Four interceptions. Trusted his arm in situations that he shouldn't. Was on the sideline, touching the elbow, they said after the third interception. The body language I did not like. And by the way, D and I have been on here, preaching about Carson Beck, really trying to, and it's something that I believe. I think he's been a different person than what he's been portrayed in the media. But this was not a good showing in terms of rehabbing the image tonight and rehabbing not the image, because I still don't think it's like a reflection on what the guy is as a character-wise or as a leader for this team. But like, that was not a good performance tonight. So let me pull up the box score here, because Malachi Tony, unbelievable performance from him. I mean, that's going to be one of the positives we take away from this one. But you know, just a sloppy showing. Came out flat, like I said. And to me, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, there a few things that really stood out. One is that this is still an immature team to this point. Like, the way that this team acts penalty wise, and you know, I give them kudos for fighting back into it. Big play by Keontae Scott, and then the way that they, you know, scored right thereafter, and they got the stop and they got the ball back to the offense. But like, immature team, you can't have the penalties that you're having right now and consider yourself to be a top 5 team that should just walk into the playoff. And again, that's something that I would have thought after a after a bye week, you really can hone in on some of this stuff. But that's just what they are. That's just what they are. Like, to this point, all they've shown is they're an immature team. So that's unfortunately, you know, what I've seen there. I think Miami got bailed out on the roughing the passer as well on one of those Beck interceptions, and they got the ball back. But you know, defensively for Miami tonight, again, the defense ends up rebounding there after the 14 points. But like, there was a lot of respect shown to the receivers of Louisville. And I'll say this, D and I have said all week long, Chris Bell, to me, first or second receiver should be taken off the board. Colin Lacey, stud as well. Isaac Brown, Miami messed that one up. 2 years in a row, he's now shown an absolute clown show that he's not a Miami Hurricane. But like, you showed a lot. We talk a lot about Miami's corners. OJ Frederic had some pass breakups tonight, but he was also picked on a bit tonight. Like, we talk a lot about these guys, and we've talked about this group a lot, but they showed a lot of respect for them as well. They played a lot of off coverage, man. Like to me, if you're gonna trust these guys, let them line up and man these guys up, because they were just eating them alive underneath, Like, yeah. And look, you guys know how it is. I see some of the comments right now, and I'm trying to stay on my own track here, but to go back to the theme of the title of this video and of this instant reaction, the party is over. We got to get off the high horse. Jeff Brom you know what? Jeff Brom, clap it up. Clap it up to Jeff Brom. And I don't mean to be a you-know-what here, but he played that defense like a fiddle, not only with the play calling, but with the mind games, talking about, please, I need you guys to understand. I need you guys to understand something here. He said that this was the best defensive line in 3 to 4 years. That they haven't seen anything like it in the SEC. That's what Jeff Brom was saying. He played them like a fiddle mentally, because guess what? That defensive line was nowhere to be found tonight. So, you know, there's a lot to be concerned about. There is a lot to be concerned about. This was a whole different ball game in terms of, you know, you get through that first part of the season. You're very hyper focused on that first 5 games, on the in-state matchups, on winning the state. You let go tonight. You let go of that rope tonight if you're the Miami Hurricanes, and you lose by 3 points. You had 4 interceptions if you're Carson Beck, but at the same time, this is a team that you should beat. There are no excuses whatsoever to lose this game tonight. So yeah, this is more than disappointing. If you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, to me, it feels like the same thing, man. It feels like the same exact thing that we've seen year after year. And, you know, I'm sure we'll get back on the horse this week on Canes Inside, and we'll have some great, you know, bounce back content for you. But to tell you the truth, I have a way different view of this team tonight than I had coming into this night. Just way different. Like it really erases a lot of what I've said and what I've thought about this team tonight. And I know that may be unfair to say that after one performance, but like that's quite frankly, it's been the penalties. We keep saying you got to clean up these penalties. You got to be you can't beat yourself. Well, you beat yourself not only with the 4 turnovers, but like the stupid penalties, with just the penalties. And Kirk, I appreciate your support as always. The penalties really are, and Mario is pissed off about it. It's and Laura, as I get into some of these, it's the way that you lost this game, man. Like there's no excuse for losing like this. And by the way, let me keep going back to this. Like I apologize to the Louisville offensive line. I apologize to the Louisville defensive line. Like I doubted you guys like badly. And what the heck do I know? I'm just some goober here who's, you know, turning the lights off and ending the party. But like they outplayed Miami's trenches tonight. They beat, we can talk all we want about Jeff Brom, but Miami's trenches did not do what they're supposed to do tonight. And like Jeff Brom can do all that crazy stuff, but if Miami handles the trenches tonight, then we're not having this conversation. Like they could have run the ball. We're talking about Carson Beck, but let me pull up I'm sorry guys. I've been, as I always am, kind of all over the place here, but what were Miami's rushing numbers tonight? 63 yards? 63 yards rushing? And you want to be a team that establishes the run? And you are a team that has that identity of establishing the run. That's where this game was lost tonight. You can't. We sat here all week long, and by the way, let me get to some of these comments. A lot of negative stuff about Shannon Dawson. Primetime Rambo saying, "I want Dawson gone. Dude's not a powerful OC. He's not a good OC." Look, I think we can react negatively to what happened tonight. Things did not go our way. Yes, we want to get more creative. I would hope in the run game and get more explosive in the run game, but I just don't agree with this comment. I appreciate the support. The offense tonight was a stagnant one for sure, but and that's what Isaiah Holt's saying. Why can't we run outside? You got to get that wide zone going, man. You got to get to the outside. I do not understand it. I don't get it. I wish I had an answer for you, and I will keep digging there. EJ, I appreciate your support. He says Shannon Dawson thinks running off tackles communist. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see them incorporate that. I can't disagree with you there. Steven Aveo says outside of Tony, we have no dynamic offensive players. Look, I can't lie to you. That was the weakness coming into the season, and we've continued to say that. I think Keelan Merritt made some nice tough catches tonight. You want someone that can be what Chris Bell is, right? You don't have a Chris Bell. You don't. He's a first round pick at wide receiver. You don't have that. Malachi Toney's a different breed, a different specimen. But I think what Chris Bell is, and by the way, was a low 3-star recruit out of Mississippi. So when we talk about Miami needs to land some of these big receivers, you need to go land a Tristan Keys, you need to land a Calvin Russell. Chris Bell was a 3-star recruit from Mississippi. So Miami needs to get some more dynamic playmakers. I agree with that. I've been, and he was banged up after the first game, but Jordan Lyle, the running game, you haven't seen those explosive runs. And then on the outside, we continue to outside of Malachi Tony and CJ Daniels had some good moments tonight as well. But yeah, that's going to be what they need to add here. Bobby T said, "Tell me that Mario's not Butch Davis 2.0, can recruit like an animal, but coaching not great." Look, Butch Davis 2.0, I would not be opposed to. He built the greatest roster and greatest team of all time. So if that's the case, then I'll take that. Quite frankly, you'll be in the playoff every single year with that. But there's a lot of cracks in what we saw tonight. Knox Kane said, "No excuses for Mario being pissed about the penalties. He's a freaking coach." Yeah, I mean, listen, it ultimately, if it falls on him, like, I'm not sitting here and protecting him on that, but this is right now what the team is. It's an immature bunch. T-Hound says a stale run game has to change. I think we all can agree with it, man. It's frustrating. 63 yards on the ground is embarrassing against this team. Bobby T, appreciate you again. Same comment about Butch and Mario. Eric Lancaster said, "Tight splits kill our explosive run plays." Notice they went to Lyle more than any running back in the second half. Yeah, I think they thought Lyle could be that explosive back for them. And the tight splits, obviously, you avoid the tackles for loss, but at the same time, you are not able to get big creases and big holes to run through. So Grizz says, "What was that final play? One read for Beck and a terrible route by Lofton. Didn't even give your best player a chance to win it." Yeah, man. Honestly, it's tough for me to instantly dissect what that play call was. Obviously, nice play by TJ Capers, linebacker there at the end, Columbus kid. But to me, forget the play calling. Am I the only one? And get with me on the comments here. But what was the urgency? From the first play of the game, the urgency did not seem to be there. But what was that last drive? Just like, I'm not even talking about, like, you have the 3 timeouts, but get up to the line of scrimmage, man. Like, they really let that play clock run down, because the way I look at it is, you have that interception thrown, but if you have a little bit of urgency, and maybe he throws the interception like a minute earlier and you still have those 3 timeouts, you can get a stop and get the ball back and still have another go at it. But, like, come on, man. They were letting that clock run a little bit. Like, that was what it was to me. The X's and O's stuff, the play call, it's hard for me to really break it down right now without rewatching it. But and knowing what the actual play call was. Lance, appreciate your support. EJ says, "I can't wait for D Money to try to sell those tight splits again." Yeah, I mean, it's becoming tough. Primetime Rambo says the tight ends are non-existent and it's not their fault. He doesn't use them, and everyone make excuses for why, when the answer is the OC doesn't like them. I mean, look, Primetime Rambo, I got to say this. Elijah Arroyo was used pretty effectively, I thought, last year. He ended up being a second-round pick. If I'm going to be blunt with you, have either of these guys right now shown you they should be featured parts of the offenses? Like, I don't know that giving those guys the ball would have been the answer to winning tonight's game. But yeah, I mean, if he has a tight end that should be featured, Lofton doesn't look right now. Whether he's a little bit overweight, whether he's banged up, like, which we know he's banged up, but I think that's all part of it. Like, him being in as good shape as possible, like, is part of him being banged up here. But yeah, he's out there. Like, you gotta take him for what he is right now. And Bauman, they threw him one. He had like a first down, I think, and then they were going to target him on a double pass to Malachi Tony, and that one was sniffed out. So Knox Kane says, "Why use Lau whenever he calls dive, left dive, right?" Yeah, listen, I mean, we've been talking about that all night. The tight splits have been kind of a part of this offense, but annoying. PJ Shaw says the amount of time I saw Lofton wide left open for Beck to throw 5 yards to a contested wide receiver in the middle was sickening. Yeah, so I mean, and that's one thing when we talk about where the tight ends, how much the tight ends are used and whatnot. Like Dawson has said in press conferences before, hey, we dialed up 4 or 5 other plays at the tight ends and they were open and the ball didn't go to them. So that's just sometimes the flow of the play and what happens. So Stephen Aveo says, sad thing is we could win out and miss ACC championship game. Yeah, it's a very real possibility. And that's, that's the consequences of losing at home on a Friday night to Louisville. And that's why the lights are out and the party's over. Like this is a dire situation right now. And how are they going to respond? The team's going to have to hunker down and, kind of get back to what they were doing before the season, which was not looking at these press clippings. And look, I don't think that it necessarily has to do with the rat poison thing. Could it have played into it? For sure. But I just think this team has a lot of flaws that maybe we did not necessarily highlight. And it's not just flaws, but like, again, there's a lot of really good football players across the country. And we talk about the Miami Hurricanes players a lot. And sometimes I don't think we give respect to the other guys across the other side, because we're in such an orange and green centric universe. But yeah, man, my thoughts on this team are very different tonight. Very, very somber evening here on the post game podcast for the Canes Insight Instant Reaction. Appreciate everyone for tuning in here. I know I have a couple more comments here. Utown, appreciate you. He says these guys were not ready to play. Mario can't get out of his own way. I mean, look, honestly, guys, I'm going to be real with you. Like, I know we all want to just like say, hey, it's Mario's fault, but like, I can't legitimately say, yes, it's a reflection of him. Like the team is a reflection of him, but like there wasn't something of that. I'm like, man, horrible decision to do this, horrible decision to do that. They got down 14-0. Carson Beck was off his game big time tonight. They could not physically, to me, again, the biggest issue is that they could not run the damn football tonight. You're at 63 yards on the ground. That's the bread and butter of what it is. Yeah, I mean, PJ Shaw says, shout out to Keontae Scott giving us a chance to escape. Yeah, he played his butt off there. But yeah, I don't think, again, we need to chill on any of these guys getting Heisman talk. We need to chill on this being a team that runs through the ACC. I was ready to talk, and I was saying it on the podcast, run through the ACC. Man, I hope they don't lose another game or two in the ACC with what I just saw tonight. And not everyone's going to have this personnel. Syracuse has some darn good personnel, as we saw tonight, in terms of the skill positions. But let me tell you, this Miami team better wake up. They better wake up, because we've been living in a beautiful world. We've been living in somewhat of a la-la land. But tonight, they shut it off, man, and it's over with. So the tone for me is going to be very different. And you guys know that I try to be as real as I can, but I've been very optimistic this year on a lot of different things. And watching college football, I've been very I've thought that Miami stacks up very well. But let me tell you, that tone for me is going to be different. And I know D Money's not going to like it, but I'll be here and I'll be trying to give you guys the real, man. So until tomorrow, most likely, I have a busy day tomorrow. It's my mom's birthday tomorrow. So if I can't catch you guys tomorrow, that's what it is. So I'll be busy with some family stuff. But yeah, guys, appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. I've told you guys before, man, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to just come on here and give you, something sugar-coated. So try to do my best with that. Emma Lon says, just canceled my trip to the SMU game. I'm going out there with my dad, so I won't be canceling that one. But it's that sounds like a pretty tempting thing right now after what I just saw. Lisa Snow said we made excuses for Beck, blamed it on the rain. It's not the rain. It's not the coaching was bad, but it's not them. It's Beck. Yeah, it wasn't a good performance from him tonight. I can't sit up here and say that he had his best stuff. I thought, and I put it in my Discord, like after the first drive, I was like, man, he looks dialed in tonight. He looked like he was ready to go. He dropped that deep ball to Malachi Tony. He looked good, you know, on that pass to CJ Daniels as well on the second drive in rhythm. But yeah, he's got to get it together. This was not good, and I hope he's healthy. Not to speculate, but they said on the broadcast he was holding his arm. So yeah, guys, appreciate you. We will we'll be back tomorrow. I know D Money is going to be on tomorrow morning for sure. Hopefully I can join him. If not, then see you guys Monday, but I'll probably be on with him tomorrow. Go Canes, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.